Hi everyone, this is Pop Zero once again on Windows 95, and today I will be going over the one, the only Juggernaut. I'm not gonna lie guys, after the last two builds I made, I wanted to make another Pathfinder. Who wouldn't want to see more of them in the world? But alas, I'm glad I was strong enough to resist the urge. I know, it's shocking to me too that I could fall in love with another Ascendancy, and using melee skills of all things. Crazy! I just have to interject here real quick, and sorry to cut you off, Papa Z, but what are we doing right here? Well, I'm glad you brought that up. We're actually performing in the old 2017 strat of taking our sweet time and replacing the Ancestral Call support gem with the elemental damage on hit support gem. You might ask yourself why. Well, let me tell you. Not only am I trying to impress the viewers at home, but we're also transparent about it. Wow, I did not think that was still a thing people did. How quaint. If only every build would be forced to do this. Hey, I'm glad you said something, because you know what? Yeah, more builds where you have to swap gems mid-map are coming. The crisp footage you're seeing is indeed real. I promise you, no Photoshop was used to make this. Trust me, I supervise all content that was recorded for this video. Believe it or not, I've never used Smite as the main damage dealing skill. It's always just been used as a utility, but with Ancestral Call, this thing is awesome. That being said, the close second favorite skill for me, after trying about a dozen or so skills, was Molten Strike, and that is why you see that on each map, I alternate these two skills for your viewing pleasure. Jeez, oh come on, how many cold balls to the face can one person take? Mental note, dodge balls next video. Molten Strike definitely has a lot more damage on a single target, so if that is your preferred skill of choice, you're in luck my friend, because this build is not even optimized for MS. Wow, that's right! I'm sure I've just blown the minds of at least one handful of you. This build came about because of a sword I crafted myself. I'll show you the build in a little bit, but it was the main starting point and then evolved into this. Not literal chimera of builds. You know, the lion face thing with the snake. You got it, you got it. Build focuses on dexterity stacking, frenzy charges, and most importantly, accuracy. Of course, from the footage, you can see, we doing poison once again. The amazing aspect of this build is that it's not tailored to any one skill, so if you have a favorite skill, swap it out for what I'm showing you for something you like. Don't be scared to test what you like. Find your own skill that you can be passionate about. The other aspect, which is very cool, is we're Jug. And we're not even using endurance charges. Gasp! Don't worry. I'll wait for you. I know you just left the room in awe. I got time, it's fine, we're good. You heard correctly. Juggernaut with 0 endurance charges doing poison damage. Woo! Are you kidding me? No, I'm not. Also, some of you who are very keen might have noticed that I don't ever have a usable skill on my middle mouse button. Is it because you hate efficiency, Papa Z? Do you hate having too many skills on your bar? No, my middle mouse button is broken. Yeah, stew in that awkward sounds for a minute. This page intentionally left blank. Alright, let's move on to the offense. Let me first show you the sword. I was chaos spamming this little bugger and then I saw the suffixes. My jaw dropped, okay? How do you not make a build around this? Those suffixes are like 1 in 500,000. I proceeded to slap suffixes can't be changed and unveiled fizz and poison chance. That's when I knew. Let's do this. I initially slapped crafted fizz on it, making it something like 340 fizz, and was going to go fizz to LE conversion route. But after doing some testing, I decided against it, so the fizz damage is a little bit wasted, but that's okay. The funny side part is, the second sword I found a day later on PoE Trade, which actually provides more accuracy and similar damage for 5 chaos. You can't make this stuff up, guys. That's why I stress patience. Though to be fair, without me crafting the first sword, we wouldn't have this belt. To start off, I put the 2 skills on top in POB for you to easily access them. Of course, we substitute Ancestral Call for elemental damage with attacks on bosses. Each skill gains about 1 million DPS. I've also included a couple of other support gems if you have trouble coloring your chest. I went with the default quality on Smite and Phantasmal quality on MS for increased dot, but Divergent would be nice quality of life. With this build, we are focusing on accuracy. We were able to get around about 22-23k, and since we're focusing on accuracy, we had to get the undeniable ascendancy node, which provides a nice attack speed bonus. This led us to crafting a nice pair of Storm Rider boots, which give us lightning damage, and almost every piece of gear focuses on accuracy and or dexterity. I was going to wait till the end, but I can't contain myself. Wow! This relic is absolutely amazing. I found this as I was ready to level this character. It was signed, guys. Now note, it's not corrupted. Not only did I feel the damage was good, I also knew not everyone would have access to this. Note that I don't have Elemental Overload, which actually would provide more damage than this relic. So if you want more damage, you know what to do. Instead of focusing on stacking dexterity, slap EO on your relic, or get it through other means, which I'll go over later, and you have a free suffix on 7 gear pieces for anything your heart desires. We're also fond of frenzy charges. We have 7 of them through gear and passive tree, and since we get an additional 70% increased accuracy rating through our swords, they are extra nice on this build. Primarily, we get the frenzy charges through Blood Rage, but on bosses and Sanctum guards, we get them via sword mastery. I also want to showcase these gloves as well because my god, they are amazing. They're pretty much everything we'd want out of gloves, and they were cheap, something like 200C. I thought about having a single target skill setup in these that I would manually use, but instead, after doing some testings, I really liked Val, Double Strike, and Ancestral Protector in them to help out with the single target that way. You can see these guys ain't no slouches. They take care of business after a little bit. As you may have noticed in this video, I use punishment. Now, I'm going to leave this unticked, but you'll soon understand why I use it. Wow! Anytime you can have enemies take increased damage, it's very effective. And in this case, they take 60% increased damage that translates to some like 30% more damage. Now note, it's only when the enemy is on low life, or 50% to be exact. That combined with the X Mastery's more damage on low life enemies adds 2 more million damage, or about 40% total. The tricky part is that poison is damage over time, of course, so we have to ramp for our damage. But once the enemy gets to 50% of their life, they melt very quickly. Another way of thinking about this is instead of having 40% more damage when the enemy is on low life, you have about 20% more damage all the time. Don't worry about the math. If you want to test out Rage, you could via the Mastery instead. This, my friends, leads me to talk about Wither application. I know a lot of you are scoffing at me right now. How dare you take the X Mastery with swords equipped, Papa Z? Don't you worry. Our Glorious Vanity transforms the main Mastery node to Ritual of Shadows. Surprise, surprise. We also have another one over here at the Cold Mastery area for 50% chance to apply Wither on hit. This is another reason why MS is better than Smite, because it has better chance to apply Wither through MS projectile balls. I did take the Cold Mastery to convert 40% Fizz to Cold, but it doesn't add that much. I also pathed in seemingly long and inefficient way to make use of a split personality jewel. Last but not least, on offense, I found Unspeakable Gifts to be pretty elegant way to help with clear because of the explosions. I will talk about another alternative later. I swear guys, the flask implicit was meant to be, okay? It wasn't my fault, okay? After I spent something like 50 searching Exarch to try to get aura effect, I got the flask mod like 20 times. I had to keep it. No, I'm not missing my beautiful Pathfinders. In all seriousness, getting even a 12% aura effect would add a little bit of damage and armor, and it's probably more efficient. Many of the gear pieces I picked up earlier already had evasion rating, so I picked up the hybrid chest because I wanted to get benefits from all the evasion notables, as well as utilize the defensive layer the unbreakable notable provides. We of course convert all of the delicious evasion rating into armor via iron reflexes, and that's why we also use Defiance Banner and Grace. Our chaos resistance is pretty low, so we use Aetiri's Promise for that and a little bit of damage. Progenesis Flask would also be pretty good option here. We also got a little bit of regen and leech, and we're also using unstoppable for that stun immunity. Alternative setups. Maybe you have a deck stacking weapon or relic just like me, so you can lean more into the dexterity stacking. Now if you did that, you might want to reconsider the location of the glorious vanity, or not. You could also go the complete opposite route, forgo deck stacking completely and focus on getting chaos res and spell suppression on all of your gear pieces. Maybe path over here for more life and strength, or a bit of strength stacking, since undeniable will give you accuracy per strength. Remember, EO is super good and adds a ton of damage to poison, so I hate to sound like a broken record, but the Skin of the Lords with the right colors is the way to go, or EO invocation slapped on your relic. Maybe there's a universe where you travel up here, get a Thread of Hope jewel, and get EO that way. Or path all the way. Or go up the left side of the tree to gain a ton of life, but you'll lose a lot of damage since the right side of the tree is where all the poison nodes are at. You could get gloves like these which actually provide more damage. You could also craft yourself a nice pair of gloves with accuracy rating per frenzy charge, with Eater of the Worlds implicit. As mentioned earlier, you could focus a bit on strength and get a nice helm like this. Or alternatively, if you wanted to focus on skill itself like MS, get the enchantment, hopefully on a nice fractured base, and spam it with Sorrow and Greed essences for some nice helmage action. If you want more explosions, try out Arath's End. It's a bit expensive. I used it on a few maps. Seems pretty good, but I didn't need it. Felt unnecessary. I was also super excited to snag this Sublime Vision for one divine until I realized I can't use precision. TT face. So I'll have to use it on a different build in the future. Lastly, some of the relics to consider. I was initially going to use one of these as they fit the theme very nicely, but then I found the deck stacking one. If you need a poison chance, a little bit of conversion, and chaos res, or if you wanted to play something like Lightning Strike, Pierce is always nice. Although you are on the right side of the tree, so you might want to pick up a different relic. Also, we hop around with Leap Slime, which is super quick. Almost feels like Whirling Blades at times, but not quite. The thing is, I don't have the extra button to spare, so I don't use it. Otherwise, I throw Whirling Blades for general mapping, and Leap Slime only for gaps in maps. No original rank setup. I ain't got much, guys. You'll lose something like 70% of DPS by using the Volkur's gloves, and that's all I can say about that. You would also have to substitute Void Manipulation with another support gem. Would not recommend. No OS setup. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with another beautiful build.